Hey guys, so today we're going to go over the base Bonney deck profile. This is the deck that I started out with to learn the fundamentals and how to play Bonney. We played this on the week of release and also the last couple weeks just to try to learn Bonney and how to find her strengths and weaknesses. We are cooking up a new deck profile, but we did end up going undefeated twice with this deck profile within the first couple weeks there. We were able to pick up 2 winning cards, one of the current set and then one from the Von 4, which is an older winning card that we were able to choose from during the first week when the new winter cards didn't come out yet. So we'll be opening those up and seeing what we have there. I started in OP04, so I didn't get to see the older winter cards, but it'll be pretty cool to take a look at that. So let's just get right into it. So this is the Bonney leader, 5 life. I do have a custom card just because I haven't opened up too many products in OP07. I do have some stuff to open up, but I did end up getting sick and losing my voice for a few weeks there, so I have a lot of content that will be coming out since my voice is back to almost full now. But there you go. We'll start off with the Bonney deck profile. So we start off with going with the Jewelry Bonney Searcher. We play a 4 of that. Just searches a supernova. This is pretty much one of the cards that you want to see in your opening hands. You'll use this a lot. Generally first or second doesn't really matter. If you go first, you play her down, and then on your second turn you'll just be able to search and then have an extra dawn to rest one of your opponent's characters. So strong. Every Bonney deck will definitely still run this as a searcher. Something that the base set does run is a dual engine. This is a Doflamingo searcher. You generally won't use this too much early game. You probably don't want to run this off the rip because you'll end up bottom decking a lot of your supernovas. You definitely do want to run the Bonney first. So these ones here you more want to save closer to end game when you're trying to look for maybe a 10 drop Doflamingo, maybe trying to re-up your Rosinantes, finding an extra 2k off Viola. But this one is more used for endgame. You generally don't want to run that off the start. So if you do get that, you can use it, but generally you don't want to really pull that early on unless you do find all your key cards for your supernovas. A Rosinante blocker, definitely the strongest blocker in green. It's just a very strong card that will allow you to essentially protect a character that's being blocked even if it's rested, so you can take that damage instead. So you run a 4 of that. Once again, you'll use that with the baby 5 to search for it, but more mid-game. Rouge, which is a new card in the OP07 here. Another strong blocker. You'll probably want to try to run this on curve. It does get removed pretty quickly, but essentially at the end of your turn you receive 1 active dawn, which is great because Bonney will then be able to rest one of your opponent's characters or leaders. Another card that we run in this one was going to be Cavendish. Great card on curve, on play, and when attacking it essentially restands 2 dawn. So this essentially costs you on your 5 dawn turn or 6 dawn turn, it will just return. It will cost like 3 dawn to play, and then you'll have extra dawn to play with. But definitely a must in this one and searchable with the Bonney searcher. Basil Hawkins here, you run a 4 of that. It's another very cool tech card. It just allows you to essentially rest one of your opponent's characters if this is removed from field, and then if this is rested you can also protect it with the Rosinante, which is great. This one, the way people generally will try to counter this is just by swinging all the characters, but a lot of times people misplay that and don't realize that this can then rest a character instead of getting it removed from field. Definitely a must if you're facing a Lucci, the new Lucci dealer leader, you'll definitely need a handful of these if you're looking to defeat the Lucci. We run a 4 of the Holdie here, enabling to get rush. You'll take a card from your life, bring it to hand, and then rest either Dawn or blockers or characters. And great way to finish off if you're able to kind of pair this with like a Zoro or some of your INs. It's definitely problematic for your opponent to take care of. We run a 2 of the Kid, lots of blockers in this set. 2 Kid is all you really need. It just kind of bait or protects your board and just allow you to play those high ends, and just allow you to bait out like the removal from such as Rob Lucci's like just like Rob Lucci's, or like Red Rock from like Boa, or from Dofi. We just run 2 of, it's more of a bait card. We run 3 of Zoro, which is pretty much the card you'll need to win with. If you get him stick, pretty much you win, just because it's going to be very powerful against like the Black Yellow Luffy, or generally or any of the leaders. If you can get them stick, or if you can get like 2 of them in hand, they'll definitely get removed real quick. But if you can make a stick, you'll definitely win the game with that for sure. We do run 4 of the Freeze Dofi, another great way to kind of stall out if your opponent kind of swings out, frees them up, puts a big body up, and just kind of like holds them steady for a bit. If you're able to pair that with like a Cavendish to gain the extra Dawn, so you can swing your leader and or have an extra Dawn to rest, or you run it with your Rouge, so at the end of turn you can still rest one of the swingers that your opponent may have. Very powerful card. And also searchable with that baby 5. So we definitely do use the Dofi. We do have other deck profiles that we will be trying out and have been testing out, but we'll keep moving on. We have Apu, Scratchman Apu, which is mostly going to be a 2k. He does allow you to rest a 2 cost 2, which you generally won't use too often, but it's generally used more for 2k. But you know, if you're able to rest a Rosinante or something else, that could be very useful also. We do run the baby 5. This one here, if you do play her early on, or if you know you're going to run the Doflamingo and or the 10 costs that will cost a lot of Dawn, you can play this hand earlier. A lot of people won't look at this and see it as a threat, but once you you can end your turn, you can trash it and gain 2 Dawn, which will be very powerful for you to kind of rest your opponent's characters and so on and so forth. We do run this Viola card, just a 2 of. You rarely will use it, but you can also pair that with the baby 5 near end game. If you do brick and don't have much of a hand, this can be very problematic for your opponent to deal with. Also, just by playing her, you can save 2 Dawn and rest one of your opponent's Dawn card. If you have Rouges, you have a Cavendish, it's a great way to burn extra Dawn if you can. Saving Dawn to run this will throw a wrench in your opponent's play. If they're running, try and drop like a Sabo or like a 10 drop, and they don't realize that this is gonna rest one, then it's a great way to kind of, you know, if they swing leader first or something, you can kind of slow them down and just stop that big 10 drop play, or even stop them from using the Dawn to rest your leader or one of your characters with Bonney. The only event we play is because the side of justice will be whatever side wins. We run 3 of these. It's more of used for a trigger to rest a 4 cost, a blocker. It could be very useful, but generally you will just use this more for a counter. You get 3k more power, and then you pitch an extra card. But that's going to be your basic build for Bonney. This is what you'll see in most of the Japanese meta that we're topping. The US meta definitely has changed up quite a bit. I have seen full Supernova package where you don't run the Doflamingo at all, like Doflamingo, package it all searchers. You add like the Bonney freeze, or you add like the more pizza card. There's definitely a few variants that are being used for this deck right now. I have been testing each of them to see what my play style is, but for the first couple weeks, this is the deck that I have been using just to learn how to do the fundamentals for Bonney. Generally, you're gonna be wanting to find some Zoros. You're gonna be wanting to find some of your main staples in the main hand. Hody wins you games all the time. Just being able to rest Dawn and or blockers or characters with like a Zoro will definitely end the game. So generally on curve, you're gonna be looking for like a Bonney. You're going on find like a Cavendish, a Roge. It's just going to be very, very powerful. Rosinante is always going to be nice to have in hand. Those are going to be like your main staples that you want to find on curve to kind of help you build everything. And if you can find a Zoro in hand or even Hodis, very, very powerful. Other combinations or strength and weakness with this deck, Black Yellow Luffy is pretty free. Like you'll probably lose maybe 1 out of 5 times facing a Black Yellow Luffy. So if your locals are filled with Black Yellow Luffys, this is probably the deck you want to play, just because it will really punish Black Yellow Luffy. Just be able to get those Zoros down or the kids down. In general, just very hard for Black Luffy to deal with. Other decks such as Lucci, you're probably almost a 50-50 or maybe a slight underdog. The only way you really win against those is if you can find your Cavendishes. If you can kind of play your Cavendishes like 2 or 3 Cavendishes, you probably have your best chance to win with that. Or if you are able to get your Zoros to kind of stick down, that's probably ideally what you're going to do. It is very difficult to defeat Lucci if he does find his stage early, because he's just going to keep removing your stuff like Cavendish here. It's just going to get removed instantly. They'll just, you know, it's just too powerful. Most players will just aim for that. Like your Rouge, like all these cards will get remove. You just have to find those Cavendishes, and then it will be more difficult for them to kind of clear those out. Note that if these are removed and there's a character, let's say they do a Lucci combo on you, and then Lucci your Biz Hawkins, you can then rest the Lucci that was played from the Moria or something to kind of save this guy. I believe you can also just avoid using Lucci as a target on this one, and then it won't really matter, but that's just something to consider. Most experienced Lucci player won't really get affected by that, but it is more difficult to remove as you're able to keep playing more and more of them. Other matchup that are going to be, I guess, Red Purple Law is pretty popular now too. You just gotta keep playing, keep getting your curve, keep trying to put your Basil Hawkins down. Just try to get some of your big guys to stick. Hopefully you don't find all their Gordons, all their raised maxes, and then it should be okay. I generally find the matchup not too difficult, but still probably a 50-50. If anything, the Red Purple Law will probably have the slight edge on it, but it should still be pretty close, unlike facing a Dofi. Dofi is probably your hardest matchup in this here. If your locals run Dofi, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose. Just the Boa can attack, and the gravity blades and the red rocks, it's just way overwhelming. Once again, it's just try to get some of the big guys out, have them use up all their removals such as red rocks, save the Zoro, try to pop Dofis and kids, and just kind of overwhelm them as you can. But yeah, Blue Dofi is probably the hardest matchup for the Bonney build. that I can see. I am cooking up a different deck, not the Supernova, completely different, that you'll see very soon. We're just in the middle of testing it out and getting some footage to kind of show the playstyle of it, which you guys should be able to see soon. Let's go ahead and what is there any other matches? If you guys have any questions on matchups and everything, just let me know in the comments. I always love to read them and then just answer any questions I can. If you guys have any ideas on how to cook a Bonnie a little more, let me know. I do have probably 2 more variants of Bonnie coming out. I have tried the full Supernova build. I have tried this base build, and I'm also cooking up one of my own concoctions that I haven't seen anyone really talk about, so we'll see that soon. But let's go ahead and take a look at these winter cards. This is a volume 4. I believe this is like OP03 or OP02 maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I only started in OP04, so I haven't really seen it. But let's get this first winter card opened up. This was on the week of release that we used this base Bonnie deck and took undefeated. This deck is, wow, this pack is definitely kind of hard to open, but let's see what we pulled here. Looks like maybe a green card. That pack was actually really hard to open. But let's see what it is. We got a Kiku, a green card. I don't know if this is really new. This is Lana Wano card. Progress up to one of your opponent's 5 costs or less. I wonder if that's good or not. That could be used in Bonnie maybe. Maybe we'll have to give that a try. And then this is from the current winners, which is the current season that we're in. This was week 1 or week 2 of when the kits came in for the LGSs. But let's take a look and see what we found ourselves here. Looks like we got Beppo. A very happy Beppo in pink. This is my first winter card in this set, so I do want to collect at least one of every winter card. I have been starting to sleeve everything up and sticking in binders, so you guys will have to let me know if you want to take a look at that also. But yeah, that is your basic Bonnie deck. This is essentially basic Bonnie. This is what you would use to learn for your fundamentals. I will be posting other variants and also a new Kaido deck profile soon. We'll be posting a new Uta deck profile soon, and my own Bonnie deck profile. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you want to see next. I do have a bunch of content coming out. Just like I said, I've just been pretty sick, so I haven't been able to film too much. As you can see, I was coughing a bit here today too, so it's not quite 100% yet, but that is it for Bonnie. We will see you on the next one. Thank you. Take care.